Hey guys, it's Carson Miller Tech here, back with another video, and in this video I'm going to be figuring out how loud truly is the Mavic Mini. In my initial review of this thing, I made this statement that it was pretty loud, especially in comparison to other DJI drones, and after that video I got a lot of comments attacking me saying, no, the Mavic Mini is not that loud. One guy even said that he flew it in his living room while his wife was sleeping. I doubt that. But in this video, I'm gonna be figuring out if I was right or if I was wrong. At this point, I'm actually not that sure, but I'm pretty sure I was right, but I'm not sure at this point. So we're gonna figure out by comparing the Mavic Mini to the Phantom 3 Standard, to the Mavic Pro Platinum, which was the first DJI drone to implement the ability to have these low noise propellers. It came stock with these, and this was the first one that implemented this low noise technology. And then lastly, to the brand new Mavic 2 Pro. Now this is not mine, but shout out to my roommate Matthew for letting me borrow his for the weekend. And so I'm gonna be comparing all four of these drones together to figure out which ones are the quietest, which ones are the loudest, and in a couple different scenarios. I'll be comparing them to like just low level flying, and then also taking them up to higher heights to figure out how they compare when used in different circumstances. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the testing. Alright, so I'm not going to go in any particular order as far as what drones I check out first, but I am going to do the Mavic Mini first just for simplicity's sake, so then you can see a baseline of what this sounds like throughout these tests, and then I'll run through the other three drones through the same test. So this first test that I'm going to do is a 200 feet test. So I personally feel around 200 feet is where most drone flight occurs, at least that's where it happens for me. So I'm going to be taking it up to 200 feet. This thing is pointed up at the sky as well, and you'll be able to hear and see with another camera what it actually sounds like when it's 200 feet in the air. So let's go and take off now. So just taking this right on up. So 150 feet, you can still hear it. Go all the way up to 200. There we go. We are at 200 feet right now. At this point, I'm gonna go and just go peek and pop up and down just a little bit, because that usually causes most drones to get really loud. So I'll do that really quick. Alright, so bringing it down now, I'm going to do landing, which is practically the same as taking off, so I'm not going to do both. So I'll just point this towards that now, and I'll show you what the sound is like when you are landing. So hearing that now, I am going to go and perform the same test on the other three drones, and you'll see now on screen the results of those, and I'll be keeping a tally of progressively each drone and their loudness in each of these tests. And then after these tests, I'm going to move on to hovering, and you'll hear how loud truly they are. And I'll also bring them really close to this, so then you can get a specific test of just the drone, just to make sure that there's no outside noises interfering. So let's get to the other three drones, and then we'll get to the final conclusion. So next up will be the Mavic Pro Platinum, just because this is what I typically am flying around nowadays. And this is the one that I was basically comparing the Mavic Mini to when I was making the statement in my review. So let's get off with the 200 feet portion of the test. So I'm expecting this one is probably gonna be around first or second as far as the quietest drone, just because those low noise propellers really do a lot of difference in comparison to just typical blades. So I'm at 150 feet right now. This is what that sounds like. So just hovering up there, it's actually not super loud, which is great. It does sound pretty similar though, as far as when it's up that high to the Mavic Mini, and probably in comparison to these other drones, but still wanted to do the test anyways. So let's bring it down and do the landing test, and then I'm not going to talk for the next two, just because you've seen me do this twice now. You probably don't want to listen to me talk anymore. There we go. Now to the non-me talking next two tests. Alright, so now that I have performed those first three tests, which was the up and down at 200 feet, the 200 feet hover, and also the landing, the Mavic Mini surprisingly came in first place in two different categories. So overall it came in first place, and it got 1 second, and that was in the landing volume. The Mavic Pro Platinum came in at second with a first place and a second place. And then also the Mavic 2 Pro came in third with 2 third places and a second place. It was odd to me that that came in third. I was not expecting that. But then after that, of course, the Phantom 3 Standard, it came in last. I was kind of seeing this, but I expected it to maybe pull at least a third or a second in one of the categories, but it did not. So the Phantom 3 Standard basically didn't get a chance in this test. So now that I've talked about those first three tests, let's get right on over to the next 4 tests, which will consist of a 10-foot hover from 30 feet away, a 25-foot hover at 50 feet away, and a close up, which will be the telling factor of which drone truly is the loudest. The drone will be hovering roughly around 3 feet from the meter itself, so we'll be taking a reading from there. And then also the last of those 4 tests will be a quick flyby, which will just be averaging out the volume of when it flies right in front of the meter. So now that I've went over that, let's get right into the tests. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. Can I get a drum roll, please? If you haven't been paying attention to the decibel readings up to this point, go up there in the poll, or even if you've been paying attention, and vote which drone you think won this competition. But if you've done that already, I'm gonna be telling you right now that both the Mavic Pro Platinum and the Mavic 2 Pro tied for first place in this competition. And I do want to say that I did consider the tie because of a 1/10 of a decibel difference. So if you're not considering a 1/10 of a decibel to be the same, then the Mavic Pro Platinum did come in first in total in this competition. So where does that leave the Mavic Mini? Well, as far as the Mavic Mini goes, the Mavic Mini did come in third place, but it did not get completely obliterated like the Phantom 3 Standard did. The Phantom 3 Standard was just in a completely separate ballpark as far as how loud that thing was. That was so loud that in some of the tests, it was a 10 decibel difference compared to the other 3 drones. So that thing was just very loud in comparison to this. So I do gotta say, if you were one of the people that were commenting on my review video and saying that this was very quiet, then yes, it is quiet in comparison to the Phantom series of DJI drones. But when I did make that statement in my review video, I do wanna say that I was making it in comparison to the other bigger brother Mavics that are in the DJI lineup. So if you are comparing these to the Mavics that are the bigger brothers, then yes, this is louder than those, but it isn't as loud as older DJI drones. So I do gotta admit that, yes, I was wrong, but I was also right. So it can be both ways as far as which way you wanna take it. With that being said, I also just wanna mention that the frequency difference between the 4 drones was different, and that does make a difference as far as how you perceive how loud these are. The frequency, or how high pitched the Mavic Mini was much higher than the other drones that I flew. Yes, it was quieter decibel-wise, but to the ear, it did have a higher frequency, which was odd and does make me believe that it is louder, but it isn't. As far as the other Mavics go, those do have the low-nose propellers, which in turn result in a lower frequency sound coming out of the props. So DJI intentionally did this because with the lower frequency, you don't hear it as well. So anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to mention that for those of you who are looking out for the Mavic Mini versus Phantom 3 standard comparison, it will be coming soon, but I just haven't had nice weather like today for a while, so I haven't been able to film it yet, but it will be coming soon, I promise. I'm not gonna not make the video. So if you'd like to see future drone videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below, and if you liked this video, make sure to let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below. If you'd like to watch my last video, that should be up there, and the Mavic Mini review should be down there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Peace.